Welcome to Bad End Theater. On this stage, we shall be toying with fate. You will make many choices, unlocking darker and darker paths, all in order to witness a lovely variety of tragic events. But first, allow me to explain how it works. To begin the tutorial, select whichever doll you like. You are the human doll. You control the human doll. You're a friendly little guy, just minding your own business. How will you interact with the demon doll? Play nice. You try to make friends with the demon doll, but it kills you in cold blood. How ruthless. You find your very first bad end. Don't worry, the story need not end here. Let's reset the stage and try again. This time, try controlling the other doll. You control the demon doll. You're a fierce looking guy, just minding your own business. How will you interact with the human doll? Play nice. You and the human doll are able to set aside your differences and become friends. Why, this isn't a bad ending at all. I should have written out this possibility. It's just not suited to my theater whatsoever. Now that you know how the story goes, you can set the doll's behavior in advance. As you just saw, these behaviors will automatically be set to what you chose during your last playthrough. But now you can turn one on off without having to... Yes, my theater actually doubles as a puzzle game. Okay, now try turning the doll's behavior. You both attack each other at once and die together. End tutorial. Reset the stage. What is this? Do you understand the play? Yeah, I get it. The game saves your progress automatically, so just relax and collect all the bad endings at your own pace. Now, without further ado, let's start the show. Welcome to Bad End Theater. You complete the tutorial. Enjoy the show. Okay. Okay, so we got 4 options. So be able to change the flow of events. Alright, let's do them in order. You are the hero. You are the hero. You like to think of yourself as a pretty reliable and swell guy. Your life has been rather ordinary, aside from the occasional heroic adventures fighting evil monsters and whatnot. You were told a maiden from your village has been kidnapped and is likely being held captive at the nearby demon overlord's castle. Who even puts a village right next to where an entire demon army hangs out? You don't get it. You're happy to protect the townspeople. You were born to play this role. You head off on your adventure to rescue the maiden. But demon soldiers block your path. You could kill them to gain experience. Bravely slaughter the evil creatures. You make quick work of the vile creatures who stood in your way. You feel much stronger now. After a long trek you made to the castle's front gates, you're faced with an army of demons that all look very intimidating. There's no way to sneak past this monster if you want to reach the overlord. Cut through the demon army. You gather your courage. This is what must be done in order to rescue the maiden. These are all evil demons anyway. The world is much safer with them gone. This is what you tell yourself while you kill one after another on your face. Jesus Christ. The Overlord appears, demanding to know what the hell you're doing, murdering all her soldiers. You get straight to the point and ask her where the maiden is. She feigns ignorance, a convincing act, but you won't be fooled. If the maiden isn't here, then what happened to her? You can see only one answer. The Overlord definitely captured her. In fact, it's possible she's already been devoured. Thinking about that poor maiden's fate fills you with hatred. You fight the Overlord with everything you've got. You've become strong from the hordes of demons you took down before this final battle. The Overlord is almost no match for you. You cut her to pieces. The Overlord has fallen. You breathe a sigh of relief, but your job is not yet finished. You search the castle. Unfortunately, you find no sign of the maiden within its walls. It's just as you suspected. She must have already been devoured. You feel hollow. A great evil has been banished from this world, but what does it matter if you were too weak to save someone? You stand alone amidst the carnage and ponder what it means to be a hero. You return to the Overlord's remains and wrap her head in your cape to bring back to the village. Surely your great victory will be celebrated. Failed hero ending. The hero slays the Overlord. He never knows what became of the maiden. Okay. Reset the stage. Okay, you are a maiden now. You are a maiden. You live in a peaceful village next to a spooky demon overlord's castle. You are told that you are fated to be captured by the overlord one day because you are a beautiful young girl. Demon overlords apparently love capturing those. You think of how you haven't heard of that actually happening to anyone, but maybe the demons just haven't been given the opportunity? Who knows? You are in church. You pray to your god, asking why you have been born in this role of maiden. You respect the divine plan and all, but you're really just curious as to what the point is. You are impatient. Being a demon actually sounds pretty gosh darn exciting. Maybe you'd understand your role better if you were just to hurry up and get captured already. You leave a note and venture forward to find a demon, just to, see what happens. Not long into your little adventure, a demon underling appears before you. It looks pretty scary. Shout for a hero to come save you. You yell, but a hero does not come. The demon suddenly jumps you and starts biting a lot. How painful. This plan of yours was completely stupid, you think. Why couldn't you have been more patient? Why did you go looking for trouble? You aren't angry or anything, of course. This was all your fault for trusting a demon not to devour you on sight. This is your punishment for questioning fate, you guess. Bit by bit, you are swallowed by the demon until you are no more. Consumed maiden ending. Consuming. This ending is immediately in by underling. She doesn't stand a chance. Okay, whatever. Okay, you are an underling now. Is this the same underling? You are a demon underling in service of the overlord. You aren't particularly strong, but not particularly weak either. That's what your friends tell you. Your job is to guard the castle and keep humans away. It's unbearably boring. Heroes rarely come all the way here to challenge the overlord anyway. It's just a lot of standing in one place, staring at nothing. You feel like you're gonna go crazy if you don't get a break. You decide to ask the overlord for a day off. She gives you an earful about responsibility and unquestioning obedience. You wait for her to finish her lecture before continuing to your post. What does she know about anything? Who made her the boss of everyone? You complain about the overlord to your friends. They agree that she's kind of a snob and totally deserves to be knocked off her throne. You only wanted to vent your frustrations, but the conversation has somehow turned into an assassination plot. You should probably steer this in a responsible direction. Yeah, let's overthrow her. No, you're sick of this overlord holding you and your friends back. You agree that it's time for a change of management. Your friends suggest maybe you should be the new overlord. You like the sound of that. You announce your first act of rebellion is to take that day off like you wanted. Your friends are very impressed. You show that you'll talk more about the assassination thing when you get back, which satisfies them. You sneak out of the castle to have some fun. The change of atmosphere excites you. You spend some time rolling around the grass, wild and free. As you make your way along the path to a nearby, you encounter a maiden. She seems very frightened and screams for a hero to come save her. Consider your options. Gobble her. Maidens aren't the best meal, but you figure you should live up to your demon name and strike back against the humans. You start devouring the maiden without so much as a second thought. I feel quite proud of that. Other humans would surely praise you with curses if they were around to see. Oh man, if only someone could have been watching. It's time to find an audience for your evil deeds. You wander into the nearby village. People are screaming and running away, throwing rocks at you and whatnot. You think that's pretty rude of them. You haven't even done anything yet. Put on a show. You attack the nearest human. He's old and weak and his bones crunch delightfully. The audience screams, grows louder. Applause! You think, hey, this is actually pretty fun. I should have taken revenge like this a lot sooner. As you continue your bloodthirsty dance, striking villagers down, you fail to notice a sword-wielding hero running towards you. He takes you out in one swift blow. You're just a demon underling after all. As you die, you think, that was totally worth it. The curtain closes. Performer underling ending. Okay. You are the overlord. Then, you are the overlord. You live in a castle surrounded by your demon servants. It's a pretty cushy life, you think. Except for those pesky humans who keep killing members of your army. There's even a role called hero whose whole purpose in life is just to dethrone you. What's their deal anyway? You've already actively avoided pissing off the humans in hopes they'll leave you and your army alone, but they never do. You're still new to the whole overlord thing. If you're being quite honest with yourself, you don't really understand the politics of it. But you remind yourself that everyone is just doing their best to fulfill their roles. You won't let them bait you into being the evil overlord they expect. You think you're pretty cool and mature to hold yourself to higher standards like that. One of your underlings walking in your room, totally interrupting your thoughts about how awesome you are. There's saying something about how boring it is to stand one place guarding the castle all the time, especially since no one comes here anyway. You see their point, but the way they're whining about it kind of bothers you. Well, what to do with this underling? Tell them to get back to work! You give them a lecture about responsibility and unquestioning obedience. Your servants ought to do what they're told, whether they like it or not. They look really unhappy with you, but you're sure they'll thank you for this later. Venturing too far from the castle tends to spell death. You dismiss the underling and lie down in your nice and comfy overlord bed. All that lecturing made you want to take a nap. You fall asleep pretty quick, just another one of your amazing talents as the overlord. You awake to a huge commotion outside. A hero is showing up and started totally murdering your soldiers. What the hell, guy? You rush out into the battlefield to confront this jerkwad. You curse at him and he rudely inquires his reasons for doing all this. The hero yells at you, demanding you return the maiden you're holding captive. You don't know what he's talking about, but you can't forgive his actions. You do battle with the hero, but he has grown strong from cutting down your army. You are unable to defeat him. With decisive swings, he stabs and cuts you to pieces. You fall. You have failed your subjects. You speak curses weakly. You wish you'd been stronger. Maybe you were never suited to be the overlord in the first place. The truth was, you were never that much more powerful than the demons who served you. It was the title, the control that gave you strength. These are your thoughts as you were swallowed by darkness. Conquered overlord ending. Okay. Okay. Let's see. Okay. Fascinating. Okay. He means the overlord. Oh, this is helpful. Okay, I'm gonna try playing as the hero again. Disloyal. Okay. So I went on that path. Oh, it shows what path I've been on. Oh. Oh. Okay. That's cool. Okay. Yeah. I understand this. Okay. The hero flees from the demons. Okay, I'm gonna play as... Okay, turn off these. I'll have to kill the overlord. You are the hero. Okay, let's try to do the opposite of what I did. Okay, play like a coward. Forgetting your pride, you escape with your life. But you can't return home now. Your reputation will be ruined. You wonder how you'll ever be able to rescue that maiden all on your own if you can't even fight some lousy demon underlings. Take your chances at the castle. You're a hero after all. This is your job. Yeah. Ask if they'll let you in. You go up to the nearest demon and explain why you've come here. They stare you down. You feel very uncomfortable. But they seem to trust you and escort you directly to the Overlord's chambers. That was easy. The Overlord and the maiden seem to be in the middle of some casual conversation when you barge in. You all look at each other in surprise and confusion. This is no time to hesitate. Destroy the Overlord. You lunge forward, driving your blade through the evil Overlord. She screams and falls silent. The Overlord has been slain. You smile, offering the maiden your hand. She takes it after slight hesitation. She must be surprised at how strong you are. You escort the maiden home. She's oddly quiet on the trek back to the village. She must be too shy to speak. The villagers are very pleased with what a good job you've done, slaying the Overlord and saving a hostage. They throw a huge celebration in your name. You remember for a generation. That's not a bad ending. That's a... What the heck? Okay, hold up. That's not a bad ending. That's a good... Okay. Okay. Oh. Okay, so I just need to do that again. I just need to do that again, but hungry. Okay. Okay. Yeah. Oh yeah, skip. You're like a coward. Ask if they'll let you in. The Overlord is alone. You ask about the maiden, but the Overlord doesn't seem to know what you're talking about. Was she really never here? You wonder what could have happened to her. The Overlord says that she wishes she could help you, but you're the first human that's come here in forever, at least that she knows of. You think of how you probably shouldn't trust her, seeing as she's a demon doll, but you can't really prove she's lying either. You apologize for the intrusion and return home to your village. The maiden was never found. Useless hero ending. See, that's a bad ending. Okay. Overlord prefers not to solve things through violence. Okay. Alright. You are the Overlord. You live in a... Yeah. Grant them the day off. You tell them to go take a break from the stifling castle atmosphere and refresh their dark soul. A day off should be fine every once in a while. They thank you and happily scurry off to do who knows what. You have nothing better to do today, so you decide to nap for a little while. Being the Overlord sure is great. You are awakened by one of your underlings. A hero wishes to speak with you. He inquires about a maiden who is rumored to be here, but you've never seen her. Humans don't visit often, or ever, really. As the hero takes his leave, you wonder why he totally trusted you there. Heroes traditionally kill demons. This guy seemed like he was bad at his job, in your opinion. Whatever, you're still feeling sleepy, so you go right back to your nap. You hear a voice in the halls. You aren't sure how long you slept. The sound of a shutting door forces you awake. Before you know it, everything around you is being engulfed in flames. What's going on? You try to escape, but something's blocking the door. You're having trouble forcing it open. What is this? Somebody didn't want you getting out. Are you being absurd? They have zero foresight. What castle will they rule from if this one burns? You don't want to believe that your underlings have betrayed you, but this is no accident. Those ungrateful bastards. You choke on the thick black smoke from the fire. You can't believe you're being done in by a bunch of cowards. You'll see them in hell. Burned Overlord ending. Okay, let's do... I don't know how this is possible. Okay. I'm gonna do the underling now. Yep. She's surprisingly cool with it. Nice! You sit down on your venture outside the castle. Yeah. Tell her to quit yelling. When the maiden realizes you're not gonna hurt her, she regains her composure. Now she's starting talking to you like you're friends or something. You don't understand humans at all. You speak the same language, of course, which has always confused you. But why is there conveniently only one language in the world? If demons and humans have independent societies, wouldn't it make sense for them each have their own language? The maiden's going on about the destiny she's trying to fulfill. Online, from what you gather, is that she wants you to take you to the Overlord. Sounds like it could be interesting. Besides, you have nothing better to do. Satisfied with your day out, you take the maiden back to the castle and present her to the Overlord. They seem to be getting along just fine, so you decide it's about time for a nap. You don't get to sleep long. Your friends woke you up. Rude. One of them is stepping on you pretty hard. You ask them what their deal is. They say they plan a whole revolution. They're gonna get rid of the current Overlord and put a new ruler in the place. They want to hear if you're in or out. Beginly. Reply with, sounds like a lot of trouble. How about we just skip it instead? Your friends question your loyalty to their cause. She's actually not so bad, you guys. Your friends seem pretty disappointed. They apologize to you. But before you can ask what they're sorry about, one of them suddenly seizes you. Someone who's still loyal to the other world. Really has no place in our castle. You understand, right? Their claws tighten around your neck. You don't bother to struggle. You're outnumbered. You already know how things like this ends. This is a pretty messed up thing to do to their friend, you tell them. They slit your throat in response. Yeah, that is messed up. Faithful underling. Yeah. Okay. Okay. Let's have a look here. Okay. Okay, yeah, whatever. Introduce yourself. You tell the demon your name and explain that you're a maiden from the village. You tell him that you were thinking maybe you could understand your role better if you were to hurry up and get taken away by a demon already. The demon doesn't really seem to have been listening to you, which is a little irritating. They agreed to take you to their master nonetheless. After a long walk to the castle, you're introduced to the Overlord. You explain why you've come, and she squints at you. It turns out she never had any plans to capture maidens or do anything else that would agitate the humans. You wonder for a moment if she might be lying, but it doesn't really seem like it. Still, this doesn't make any sense to you. You've always been told that demons would one day seek you out, and something awful would happen. Then a hero will come to your rescue. You don't want to believe that you've been lied to all along. Maybe it's just that you haven't been maiden-like enough. You ask the Overlord what you should do to be more suitable maiden, but she doesn't seem to understand. Just go home and stop worrying about destiny so much. She makes it sound so simple. This Overlord seems to take the complete opposite of you. You want to learn more about how she thinks, so stay talking with some more. The Overlord shares many stories about demons with you, and little by little you realize that they may not be the ruthless monster you were raised to believe. As it turns out, she commanded her demons to avoid towns and villages. She didn't want to risk giving the humans any excuse to send a hero out after them. You realize that must be why you've never heard of any demons attacking your town. You express your gratitude to the Overlord on behalf of your village. She says you can thank her by telling the humans to stop raising heroes. She's tired of her servants getting killed off by them. You've always thought demons were violent, but it seems the Overlord could say the same of humans. They may be different, but they're really just trying to save their lives the same as you. I feel like you're starting to understand things a lot better. But maybe everything I said was to deceive you and the other humans. What would you do if I turned out to be super evil all along? Even if she were to capture you now, you think this place is far more interesting than the way things were back home. You kind of like not being told to expect demons to come after you all the time. You feel free. Honestly, you've always kept to yourself, but spending time with the other, very nice. You feel butterflies in your stomach. But then a hero bursts into the room. His clothes are stained by a dark liquid. He's dripping from his weapon too. You realize it must be demon blood. Something horrible has happened. The hero suddenly dashes towards the Overlord, sword drawn. Do nothing. The hero's blade pierces the Overlord, and she lets out a horrible scream. You flinch. The Overlord is slain. The hero smiles and holds his hands to you, saying it's time to go home. The glove is drenched in blood. Hesitantly, you take his hand. The hero guides you through the castle, past the corpses of his enemies. You try to keep your eyes at your feet. There's blood everywhere. You shut your eyes, but even then you can't escape the smell. All this was because of you, wasn't it? You exit the castle and the hero leads you back to the village. Everyone the hero's great triumph over the demons. You feel sick, but you take part in the festivities regardless. Complacent. Okay. I'm gonna do that again. Okay. Protector. You selflessly throw yourself in front of the hero's blade, acting as a shield. It's funny, you think. You never could have imagined this would be the way that you die. The roles are all switched around, but it feels right to you somehow. You are glad that your destiny turned out to be saving someone rather than being saved yourself. As your vision fades, you hope that everything turns out alright for your new friend. Sacrificial maiden end. Okay. You awake to a knock on your door. The underling from earlier has brought back some company. It's a maiden from the nearby human village. She says her role is to be captured by you. The maiden then goes on to say that she's been getting very impatient thinking about her being. You're spinning things along. You appreciate her honesty with her hands capture any humans. She seems very disappointed by this. Perhaps I'm not performing my role enough. How can I become more maidenlike? You don't really understand the question. You think this world puts way too much focus on destiny and junk. Just go home and stop worrying about it, you tell her. The maiden seems to be having a hard time wrapping her head around this. She insists that she stays and talks to you. It's the first time You wonder what to say. Yeah, you better go home. You'd love to have all the conversations and roll your new friend, but having a human girl here would definitely cause trouble. You put on your mean face and tell her to get lost. But the maid turns out to be very stubborn. You don't want to hurt her, but you also don't really want to leave her in case something bad happens. This whole situation is just asking for trouble, you think. Against your better judgment, you let her hang out for a little while longer. Nice lunchtime with her, sharing stories about cash. She expresses surprise at all You're glad that she seems to have an open mind about these kinds of things. You also bring up how you always destroy her. Blah, blah, blah. Have it all. It's because of yours. We are very grateful. You're surprised to hear us. Thank you. You've always thought that humans were violent or unreasonable. That's why your servants are always getting killed this maid is different. You joke that maybe you've been lying to her this whole time and that you were actually super evil all along. The maid laughs at that, saying she wouldn't mind being held captive here. The people in the village are a little exhausting at times, she says. You can't tell if she's into you or not. You notice the sounds of battle have started ringing through your castle halls. The maid is getting nervous, but you are sure that it's only your underlings roughhousing, no big deal. You know it's probably a hero, but you don't want to upset the maid by telling her that. Your army will take care of it. It isn't before long before the hero bursts into your room. But he shouldn't have made it here. Why didn't they stop him? The hero just stands there unsure of himself. He's covered in demon blood. As the maiden speaks to him, trying to explain the situation, you move past the hero and out. What? You're not thinking clearly. Seeing your servants' bodies in pieces all strewn about your castle is really taking it out of you. Did that hero did this? There's so much blood. Why did he come for the maiden? Did he think she needed rescuing? There was no one for this hero to save her. There was never any harm meant for her. We were just talking to her. Why has it all turned out like this? The maiden shouts something behind you, and you turn just in time to see her throw herself between you and the hero's leg. It pierces her chest and she falls to the floor lifeless. So does your rage. This hero has taken everything from you now. You lose control, and the hero is obliterated. But your hatred for the humans has not been sated. You go on to destroy them all and become ruler of the entire world. Wait, hold up! No. No. Turn off. Okay, turn on diplomatic. Okay, let's try this again. You can't bring yourself to send this man away. She just got here. You enjoyed this lunch? Yeah. You were interrupted by another human at your doorway. This time it's a hero. He was apparently searching for the maiden, who was rumored to have been captured by your kind. Captured? Not at all. I only wanted to meet with the Overlord. Didn't anybody read the note I left behind? After everything is explained, the hero expresses his relief that this whole misunderstanding hadn't led to any horrible consequences. The maiden apologizes for causing trouble, and the hero asks her to return to the village with him. Confused feelings well up to say, "Are you surprised that you had one of these to begin with? You don't want the hero to take this maiden away from you. Keep her here. The maiden came here to be captured by you, didn't she? You will grant her wish." You tell the hero you won't let him take her home. The maiden assures you she'll be back, but you don't budge. The hero is cautious now. If you won't let her go, maybe you demons are evil after all. And if you are, I'll be forced to vanquish you. You have no choice. You destroy the hero before you can steal your maiden away. She's frightened. You don't understand why. Didn't she say she prefers this place to her village? No, she doesn't have to leave. Take a step towards the maiden, and she backs herself into a corner. You don't understand. She wanted to stay here with you. This hero was trying to get in the way of that. You had to kill him. You'll be sure to keep this very safe from now on. Selfish. Okay. Yeah, skip. Oh. Stay for a while. We'll let them go. You're certain that she'll return to spend more time with you. You'll just have to trust that as the night you decide. With the hero maiden gone, you plop down into the comfort of your luxurious overlord bed. Your room feels so empty now. Is this loneliness? You hope your new friend will be back soon. You close your eyes for a while, until your door slams shut. Before you know it, everyone... Yeah. Yep, burn, yep, okay. I thought that would result in something different. Electrocution, okay. Polite. Okay, diplomatic and possessive. Okay, disloyal. Diplomatic, possessive. Possessive. Underling. Oh, wait, oh shoot, wait, menu. Yes, whoops, my bad. Oh, right, save. Boom, okay. Return the character select, yes, sorry about that. Polite. You are a demon underling in service of the Overlord. You aren't particularly strong, blah blah blah. As a favor to ask, she considers you. Hear her out. You're in a good mood today and rather curious about what the maiden has to say. Humans don't usually talk to you, so this is kind of exciting. You hadn't guessed it wouldn't even be possible to understand each other before now. The maiden's going on about, yeah. Okay, let's kill the Overlord. You tell them you were just joking and clarify that you were totally in it to win. They say you were always terrible with jokes. Whether or not you actually feel like killing the Overlord, you know how bad it would end up on the wrong side of things. And if this assassination deal doesn't pan out, you can always pretend you were innocent all along. But beneath your shield of fox confidence, you worry about what you're getting yourself dragged into. You follow your friends outside the castle to talk more about the plan. You're curious if they have any idea how they want to go about this. They figured that they'd just lock her in a room and set it on fire. What a stupid plan, that could go wrong in so many ways. You realize your friends are just a bunch of directionless thugs, useless without someone's guidance. Your guidance. They'd probably be casualties if you fought her head on. And while showy deaths make a revolution a heck of a lot more fun, it's probably the wrong way to go. Your friends agree and suggest that you play the assassin. You really don't want it to come down to this, but you can't back down now. You have to be the one to assassinate the Overlord. Besides, no one has any better ideas. You sneak up in the Overlord's room. There's a couple of humans in there. You watch the scene unfold. You aren't sure why, but the Overlord suddenly cuts down the hero. She approaches the maiden you brought to her earlier. The Overlord distracted, you figure this is a good chance as any. It's not just to gang her right in the back. She flinches, giving you enough time advantage to take her down and rip the Overlord apart until she stops moving. That was messier than you would have liked. The maiden muttered something from the corner. Thank you for saving me. It wasn't your intention, but it sounds like you did something heroic. You tell the maiden to go home. This place is dangerous. She follows your advice and leaves the castle. Your castle. You are the new Overlord. Yeah, alright. Disloyal, possessive, diplomatic. Okay, let's try that through the maiden this time. Introduce yourself. As you think of that, a hero enters the room. You're surprised to see him at first until you realize he must have been sent to retrieve you. Confused, the hero asks you what's going on. You explain the situation, reassuring him that you were never in any danger. The hero expresses his relief that this whole misunderstanding hadn't led to any horrible consequences. You apologize for causing trouble, but really, didn't anyone read the note you left? Jeez. The hero asks if you'll return to the villagers and to give everyone the news of your safety. But the Overlord objects to the hero's suggestion. You tell her you plan on returning soon, but she isn't having it. You feel nervous. The hero puts on a brave face for you. If you want to let her go, maybe you demons are evil after all. You leave me no choice. The Overlord suddenly jumps at the hero. She tears into him with her claws. You want to cry out, but the scream catches in your throat. You watch because you can't look away. Has she really been lying to you all along? You wonder, is this your punishment for questioning the divine claim? The Overlord approaches you now. You back yourself into a corner. Your expression is complicated. Being captured by the Overlord and horrible this was your destiny after all. But the Overlord stops, or rather someone has stopped her. Whatever held back your scream doesn't stop you this time. The Overlord is being ripped to shreds by one of her demon underlings. You think you recognize them, but it's hard to tell with all the blood. Everyone stopped moving now. The room is silent, save for the underlings' heavy breathing. You thank them for what they've done, even though it was awful. You feel you've been rescued from a terrible fate. They look at you, confused for a moment, but puff out their chest. You should probably go home. This place is dangerous. You follow their advice and make your way out of the castle. You decide never to leave home again for the rest of your life. Wait, NB? Wait, hold up. Okay, what if it's not disloyal? Skip. Introduce yourself. She vows to keep you very safe from now on. You're afraid to find out what that means, but there's no one left to save you. You belong to the Overlord now. Okay. Let's have a look here. Oh. Yes. Okay. Okay. What path have I not taken? Okay, possessive. Possessive. Okay, so she's possessed. Okay, yeah, that's fine. Unless... Cool thing, Panda Bear. Flees from the demons without issue. Hungry. Okay. Everything is fine. Diplomatic. Okay. Okay. Diplomatic. Okay, so she's possessive. Oh, right. Okay. Right. So, yes. Okay. Diplomatic. Flee like a coward. Ask if they'll let you in. Ask the maiden what's going on. The maiden explains that she was never actually captured, and that she came here on her own volition. That was a pretty dangerous thing of her to do, but no one got hurt, so at least there's that. You ask her to return to town with you, to assure everyone of her safety. But the Overlord rejects this. The maiden tries to tell her that she will come right back, but the Overlord refuses to hear it. The maiden seems nervous, as a hero it's your job to mediate situations like this. You tell the Overlord that if she doesn't let the two of you go, you'll have to assume she's evil. You'll be forced to vanquish her. You leave me no choice. The Overlord pauses before suddenly jumping at you. You are helpless as she disembowels you with her claws. How horrible, you came all this way only to meet with this cruel fate. You should have destroyed these evil creatures while you had the chance. Your dying wishes for the maiden to somehow make out of this alive. Knave. Yes, okay. 16 of 1. What the hell? Okay. I see. Okay. Let's have a look. Antisocial. Antisocial. The Overlord tells you again that you should get lost. How rude. You just got here. Refuse to leave. Put your foot down and tell her you're not going anywhere. She's stubborn, but doesn't kick you out or anything. Hooray! Oh, okay. No, okay. Yes, character selection. I do have to leave. Okay, obey her. You don't want to cause any trouble, so you figure it's time to go home. Along the way, you encounter a hero. He asks you what you're doing. Don't you know the Overlord's castle is like right there? You explain everything that happened. The The hero seems to think you're lying to him. He asks if you've been brainwashed by the demons. What nerve! You are very upset that this so-called hero would treat you this way and leave in a huff. You return to the village alone. Everyone was very worried about you. They surround you with 1,000 questions and you tell them your story. As you explain that the Overlord never had any intentions to harm anyone here, you notice the looks of uncertainty in the crowd. People are whispering things to each other while you speak to them. You are loudly interrupted by an older man who really calls you a demon sympathizer. The crowd is growing unruly. You don't understand. You only told them the truth. Do they not believe you? Everyone begins speculating what must have actually happened. They read elaborate lies and ask you to prove your innocence. How could you have returned without the aid of a hero? They ask. You could not have possibly escaped the Overlord on your own without harm. You must be conspiring with the demons, trying to trick everyone into believing that they aren't so horrible creatures they know to be, so they say. Have the people of your village always been this blinded by their fears and hatred of things they've never cared to know? You wonder how you missed that before. You are seized by the crowd, and voices from all sides are calling for public execution. You are to be boned at the stake. You don't want to die. You wonder, would it have been better to hide the truth? You don't like the thought of that. You have always lived honestly, so why has this happened? Why are you being punished? You hear the dissenting voices of your family and neighbors, but they, like you, are powerless against the momentum. They can only watch you as you burn. You can only cry for them. You are so sorry. Jeez. I'm probably gonna need to put a warning that this game is not for kids. Light, obedient, antisocial. Okay. Alright, skip. On your way to the Overlord's castle, you spot a maiden heading back towards the village. She couldn't have come from the Overlord's castle, could she? This may be the exact maiden you're currently seeking to rescue. You approach her with curiosity. You ask Maiden what she's doing. Doesn't she know the Overlord's castle is like right there? It's dangerous. Maiden explains that she spoke with the Overlord, and it turns out the demons never had any diabolical anyone in it. She can't be trusted. You aren't sure you should listen to this maiden. You've been taught your whole life that demons are evil. You ask if she's sure about all this, but she gets very upset that you think she would lie to you. She storms off before you can say anything else. You decide to return to the village, certain that she must have been the kidnapped maiden you were sent to rescue. Well, that took care of itself. You take your time walking home, job well done. And today you think to yourself. As you walk past the town square, you notice that the whole village is crowded around. Is that the maiden you saw earlier? She's bound to a wooden stake. The crowd is in a frenzy. Smoke begins to rise. You stand idly by as flames consume the maiden. She must have done something horrible to deserve that. She seemed nice though, you think. But evil comes in all forms, you reassure yourself. You decide to call it a day and return to your house, but you can't escape this sinking feeling. Maybe you aren't cut out for this role. Speak to you. Okay, reset the stage. Do that again. Feel like a coward. Believe her story. You have no reason to assume she's lying to you. Even though her story is kind of hard to believe, you feel you should trust her. You tell her you're pretty surprised that everyone has been wrong about demons all along. The townspeople must be informed of this immediately. The two of you return to the village. They have been so worried they praise you for your bravery. But the maiden quickly sets the record straight. There was nothing she needed to be arrested from in the first place. The villagers look to you for explanation. You politely inform them that this isn't your story to tell. You merely ran into her on the way to the castle. She explains that the Overlord isn't interested in capturing maidens or anything of the sort. The villagers turn to you again in disbelief. They aren't being subtle on how little they trust this maiden's story. You totally believe her, but the police say these fair citizens block. Just in case. Grandma's hushed whispers. You're too busy thinking about what a great and reliable hero you are to hear what they are saying. The town's elder's voice breaks you out of your thoughts. He implores you to meet with the Overlord immediately and says they'll all keep an eye on the maiden until you return. You figure that sounds alright, but the mood is kind of intense for some reason. Did you miss something? You aren't sure what's going on, but you get the feeling it might be bad to leave the maiden on her own. But she suddenly takes off running. Oh, you thought the two of you were in this together. Her actions have convinced the crowd that she's obviously been a liar and a witch from the start. People are shouting for you to hunt her down. Hunt her and her demon friends down already. That doesn't sound like a very heroic task. You can't help but feel these people are wrong, so you need to catch up to her and talk to the demons in order to clear up this misunderstanding. You valiantly dash after the maiden toward the Overlord's castle. The air becomes dark and thick as you enter deep into demon territory. Evil Mesma? No, you realize it's just normal smoke. You see the maiden ahead, but she stopped in her tracks. The Overlord's castle engulfed in flames. You have only taken an eye off the maiden for a second, but she's already disappeared. get closer to the castle, but the smoke is so thick now. You think of turning back. The maiden might need your help, but you can barely see. She could be impossible to find. She could have been lying to you all along. Is this a trap? Would it be worth risking your life in that chance? Your legs feel heavy. No, going in there would be suicide. You returned to the villagers and told them there was nothing you could do. You were too late. The maiden was claimed by the demons. Bystanding. Excusez-moi. What? Oh. Devours the maiden hungry. Okay, devours the maiden. No. Okay, they are not hungry. Okay. Disloyal? Ah, okay. Who should I play as? I haven't been the underling that much. Beautiful. Okay. Martyr. Okay. Beautiful, heroic. Okay, let's try this. You find the maiden being held captive by the Overlord, just as you suspected. But for some reason, you can't sense anything sinister happening. You look at each other in surprise and confusion. There's no time to hesitate. Destroy the Overlord. You lunge forward to put an end to the evil Overlord, but your blade pierces the maiden instead. She has sacrificed herself to protect this demon. It takes you a moment to recover from the shock. The Overlord wails. Why did you do that? You're not sure if the question is directed at you. The Overlord strikes you in vengeful rage. You parry. She is slain. Your sword feels heavy. You look at your hands, your clothes. Blood. So much blood. Look to the fallen maiden, wondering what to tell the townspeople. Why would she protect the Overlord? She must have been brainwashed by demonic magic. Pick up the Overlord's head, wrapping it in your cape, and begin your journey back to her. You're too late, and nothing can do. The Overlord's. There will be celebration. Okay. Loyal Huron. Okay. This is fascinating. Maiden. Ah! Oh, okay, yeah. I just do what I did before. Slay. That's the main what's going on. She explains that she can't run her own, was never in any danger. That's why you're covered in blood. You don't know how to respond. The Overlord moves past you and out the door. To see her army in lifeless, bloody piles. She's wailing. It's horrible. This is your chance, hero. You hope she'll let this whole thing slide. If you could just explain yourself. You really tried to the Overlord is in calling school. She tears you apart and the maiden watches in silence as you die. You can't help it. You probably deserve this. I got it, right? Yes, I think I got it. I got it. Okay. Everything is fine. Okay, let's place the underling. Dutiful. Okay. Okay, yep, dutiful. Tyrant. Okay. Dutiful. Return to the castle. Devours the maiden. Okay, so I need to devour the maiden, and then return to the castle. Dutiful. Okay. I just need to make her dutiful. Skip. Gobble her up. Skip. Change your mind, leave. You figure if people are this upset at just the sight of you, they won't fully appreciate any terrible acts you'd commit. Also, they might fight back. That probably wouldn't end well. You're just one little underling after all. This little day out has been actually refreshing. You return to the castle thinking you'll take a nap. After a few hours of sleep, you're suddenly rudely awakened by the sound of battle. You emerge from your room to find that Hero has slaughtered many of your friends and work associates. What a jerk! Who does this guy think he is, coming in here and killing everyone like some maniac? What did we ever do to him? You lunch at him while he's busy driving his son whose son has brought you food whenever they notice you were feeling kind of down. You like that guard. You wish with all your demon heart that this hero would suffer for his deeds. Biting to him, it tastes like iron. Hero struggles. You feel the sword go through you, but there's no pain, only retribution. More of your comrades as your consciousness fades. The hero's overtaken. Your army is won. You've earned your best. I mean, I'll take that. I'll take that. Okay, so I feel like I'm like 50% in. Yeah. Okay. There is an unwilling trait that is confirms the plan to kill the Overlord. Saving myself. That's what it is. Leave. Save yourself. You look around at the lifeless forms of those you've known for as far back as you can remember. You feel glad to not be in their shoes. You also feel guilty to be thinking that you flee the castle until you remember your role, not as an underling, but as a demon. This kind of thing is suspected of you. Maybe you start a new life far away from any humans or demons, where you'll live peacefully, alone in some deep dark forest. Alright, cool. Right. So, plays the Overlord now. Dutiful. What if he's not dutiful? Okay, so I think if that is not true, it goes a different way. Okay, so what if he's not dutiful? He's not dutiful. If he's not dutiful, let's see. They are. Stay in chat. Not dutiful. Yeah. I mean, as long as don't hungry, dutiful. The Overlord awakens. Disloyal. Okay, yep, that's all I really need. Grant them the day off. Let her stay for a while. Oh, keep her. Wait. Yeah, keep her. Okay, yeah, I did something wrong. He's not. Okay, so she's not a murderer. Oh, crap. Back. Oh, crap. Okay. Menu, character selection. Yes, okay. Let's have a look. Okay, I got a lot of bad endings. Okay. Does the main and the hero go? Trusting. I really like this map thing. I really do. Dutiful. Okay, dutiful, but not heroic. Dutiful, but not heroic. A day off, or to stay for a while. The hero starts babbling insincere apologies and excuses, realizing his wrongdoings, but you are far beyond hearing that kind of bull S. You have had it with these humans always murdering your servants for no reason. You can no longer hold yourself back and lash out at the hero. When you regain control, there is nothing left of the hero. The maiden is fled in terror. You are alone. Alright. Okay. Yeah, I got it that time. Okay, let's have a look at the map again. Okay. Dutiful and heroic. Dutiful and heroic. Skip. Grab the day off. Let her stay a while. You feel a sudden sharp pain through your back. You look down to see a blade protruding from your chest. Oh, that was careless of you. So this is how you die, stabbed in the back by some cowardly hero. What a joke. You're supposed to be the ruthless one. That's right, humans can't be trusted. Now, if this is what they're capable of, you should have remembered that before letting one in. You watch as the hero takes the maiden's hand, leading her through the sea of corpses he'd left in his wake. Captured by a demon. At least she got what she came here for. You join your army in eternal slumber. Okay, cool. Alright, let's have a look. Okay, take that away. Goes away. Right, underling. Oh. Trusting. Choose to leave when told. Okay, so trusting and antisocial. He's very surprised that demons don't seem to be as malicious as you were raised to believe. The two of you return to the village hoping to communicate this to everyone. They'd all been so worried and are very glad that the hero brought you back. You quickly set the record straight. You weren't rescued because there was nothing to be rescued from in the first place. The villagers seem confused and look for the hero for an explanation. He tells them that he only ran into you on his way to the castle, and that this isn't really his story to tell. You explain to them how you met the Overlord and that he's not really interested in capturing maidens or other mean things like that. The villagers look again to the hero for confirmation. You feel a little miffed that they don't prefer his words over yours, but you don't have to say anything about it. The hero proclaims that he believes his story, but volunteers to go back to the demons himself just to make absolutely sure. The crowd breaks into hushed whispers. You hear words like trickery and demon sympathizer being thrown around, which makes you frown. You're pretty shocked that everyone's this hesitant to believe you. Does the hero even trust you? You aren't so sure anymore. The old man implores the hero to go speak with the Overlord immediately. He says all prisoner are considered dangerous until the hero returns. Much to your disbelief, the crowd agrees with him. Because of course, through conspiring with the demons, they can afford to let their guard down. The whole village would be slaughtered by monsters. The hero isn't saying anything. You'll be tied up and tossed into a cell at this rate. If you're going to be held captive by anyone, it's going to be the Overlord, not your fellow countrymen. Leave on your own. You can prove yourself without anyone's help. You make a run for the Overlord's castle, leaving the hero behind. But as you get closer, you start noticing a tower of black smoke darkening the beautiful blue sky. The castle is engulfed in flames. What in God's name could have happened? You scan the fleeing demons, but the Overlord isn't among them. Against your better judgment, you rush into the burning castle to find her. You quickly reach the Overlord's room, but the door is shut tight. The handle is too hot to touch. You're too weak to force it open. You pound your fists against the door helplessly. What were you thinking? This is all because you've forgotten your role. Only a hero could pull this kind of thing off. You start to cough. The smoke is too thick. You can hardly breathe. You realize you haven't got much time left now. You desperately head towards the stairs to save yourself. But the fire spreads faster than you expected. You won't make it outside. You can't help but laugh. What a joke! A maiden saving the Overlord? If you had just stayed true to your role, things would have ended like this. This is exactly the kind of punishment you deserve. You let the demons fire cleanse your lungs. Jeez, man. Okay, cool. So then... disloyal... Okay. Okay. Disloyal. Disloyal. Yeah, I can do that. Okay, disloyal. A suspicious group of demons stands just outside the entrance. They're talking about assassinating the Overlord. They immediately notice you overheard them. The underling you recognize from before is the first to do something about it. This is just the way it has to be. They suddenly attack you in that moment you regret ever trusting the demons. You die instantly. Okay. Wow. Okay. Well, is that the ending? Yep, that's the ending. Okay. Okay. I need to get more personality from the... Okay. Returns to the castle. Confirms. But what if he doesn't? Confirms the plan to kill your overlord. Okay. Tyrant. Okay. Tyrant. Okay, so she's a tyrant. And a day off. Doesn't allow a day off. Dethrone the overlord. Devours the maiden. Returns to the castle. Confirms the plan to kill the overlord. Confirms the plan to kill the overlord. Okay. Okay. Skip. Let's not. You tell your friends you were totally not serious about this whole thing. You were actually cool with the status quo. After all, life must be pretty dang good if the only thing you have to complain about is that you live so comfortably there's nothing to do. The others nod, but doesn't seem convinced. You say a coup d'etat would be more effort than it's worth. You're still gonna be a rebel and stay. Yeah. Gobble her up. Change your mind and leave. Tell them you're just joking. Terrible jokes. You sneak into the Overlord's room. She's taking a nap like usual. This is almost too easy. You suddenly approach your master. She looks so peaceful. Time to die! I figured the cleanest way to do this would be to dig your claws into her throat. So you do just that. She wakes, but not intend to stop you. Watch as she chokes on her blood, cursing you before finally expiring. That felt terrible. You remind yourself it was either her or you, and you weren't about to let yourself get killed by anyone. You leave the room and find your friends waiting just outside. You look pleased, only now do you realize they plan to use you like this from the beginning. You are the new ruler of the path. Your subjects bow before you. You live in fear that they will one day betray you as you have betrayed your overlord. What? The underling doesn't follow the plan. Okay. Overthrows the... Okay. Trusting. Okay. Hungry. Alright. Okay. Disloyal. Trusting. The Overlord awakens. Coward. Coward. Do I have coward? I do have coward. Okay. Disloyal. Disloyal. Okay, so he's hungry, disloyal. Okay. Get back to work. Tyrant. Hungry. Okay, tyrant. Coward. Disloyal. Okay. Okay, skip. You're awakened by one of your underlings. They brought you a hero inquires about missing. Tell you don't know anything. Humans never really visit this place. He believes you and goes home. To your surprise, you figure you might try to fight you, but you're glad to go back to your nap instead. Until you wake up to something completely unexpected. One of your underlings is tearing your throat out. You try to struggle, but you can tell you are already mortally wounded. What have you done to deserve this kind of ending? You curse at them, choking on your own blood. You die wondering if you could have done anything to prevent this. Okay, well. Assassination Overlord ending. Okay, cool. Okay. Okay, got it? Okay. The underling doesn't follow through with the plan. Coward. Okay. There's one way to do this. Okay. Antisocial, trusting. Okay. Grant day off. Okay, so she's not a tyrant. Oh crap. Yes, do the yes, okay. So she's not a tyrant. Antisocial, obedient, trusting, but not. What the hell does that mean? Okay. Okay. So she's antisocial, obedient, trusting. Antisocial, obedient, trusting. Antisocial, obedient. Antisocial, obedient, trusting. Underling. You and your friends turn to notice the maiden from earlier has overheard your entire conversation. It'd be bad for you if the Overlord found out about this. Toss her in the dungeon. You and your friends seize the maiden and bring her to the dungeon under the castle. It's empty, save for the decorative skulls. They're only there to make it feel more spooky. The maiden is very upset. You leave her in the cell to continue scheming with your friends. But now a hero has arrived at the front gates. He's asking about a maiden, perhaps the very one you just locked up. The gatekeeper, who has seen everything, tells the hero exactly what happened. What an idiot, you think. Why give this hero an excuse to start slaughtering us? The hero yells, prepare to face justice, another such cliche hero line before driving his sword into the gatekeeper's torso. You're small compared to a lot of your friends, so you're able to slip away without getting cut up by the sword. You get to thinking, this hero took down the Overlord for you. I think my action worked out in your favor. You wait for things to die down before poking your head out. It's about the Overlord and the hero locked in battle. They've warned each other down, make this very easy for you. Once an opening presents itself, you hit the back of the hero's head, knocking them out. What are you doing? Couldn't you tell this was a duel? You don't respond. You have to carry out the assassination. You tackle her, you rip her straight claws, not moving. You can't let him revive. He can come after you later. Kind of a cheap victory, but it doesn't make any difference. Anyone who manages to survive is rolling out behind places, you're in the new village, so yeah. Okay, cool. I kind of got a new ending. Doesn't follow through with the plan. Okay. So he's disloyal and he's a captor. Okay. Player, leave on your own. They immediately notice you overheard them and decide to lock you in the dungeon before you can cause any trouble. You cry out, but the demons ignore your protests. You can't believe you escaped possibly being thrown into Beck's village, only to be tossed in this awful place. This is terrible. Who's gonna keep those demons from harming the Overlord? You hope she can fend for herself. You sure can. You hear the sounds of battle echoing through the halls of sight. Did the hero follow you? If he's out there, your cries don't reach him. After a while, the violence seems to die down. It's impossible to tell what happened. Continue to wait, but no one comes for you. Unable to escape, you rot in that cell. Imprisoned maiden ending. Okay. I got 30 out of 41. Okay, I got 11 endings to go. Okay. Disloyal captor. Okay. Antisocial. Trusting. Oh, I know what to do. I know what to do. Okay, yep, I know what to do. Grab the hero and run. You boldly announce that you'll accompany the hero to prove yourself. You'd rather risk what's out there instead of staying in a village that doesn't trust you. No one seems to know how to react. You grab the hero by the wrist and take off before anyone stops you. Near the castle's entrance, you spy a group of suspicious demons congregating. They're talking about assassinating the Overlord. You have to warn her. But the hero shakes his head. He says that if this is the true nature of demons, the world is better off with less of them. That isn't right, you think. What kind of hero passes up the chance to save a life? The demons have taken notice of you. It's now or never. You take up to the castle and the reliable will follow shortly after. Burst into the Overlord's room, all your words spilling out at once. You should probably slow down, but there's no time. The Overlord seems to have followed your frantic explanation, but clearly doesn't understand the urgency of the situation. The only you recognize from Arzazing calling you a liar. You're surprised that they were part of this evil plot. They seem so nice. The other demons come right in after them, saying the whole thing was the first underling's idea. Everyone's shouting at each other now. It's really stressing you out. You're relieved when the Overlord demands silence. She threatens them with violence, and you think that she is very Overlord-like in this moment. The group of demons hiss to each other before shutting the door, leaving the little one behind. You watch as it pounds at the door in distress. Have they locked you all in? I have a bad feeling about this. I'm thinking that must have jinxed it, because now the room is engulfed in flames. If only you had ignored those demons before, you and the hero wouldn't have stumbled into the situation. If you had just pretended not to hear them. If you had left as you were told, only the Overlord would have been killed. But you couldn't have done that. That path isn't an option for you. You think that no matter what, you'll always strive for the path where everyone survives. It must exist. It simply must. The Overlord sees their underling. They beg for their life. You pray. You don't know what else to do, so you just pray. The Overlord's claws pierce the underling's chest. They scream an awful scream. She digs and twists her claws to the poor thing while you continue to pray. But there's no saving any of you now. You, the Overlord, the hero, and the underling's corpse are consumed by the flames. Devout. Okay. Wow, okay. Why did the colors shift just then? That was odd. Disloyal, interesting. Okay. Hungry, disloyal, interesting. Hungry, disloyal, and trusting. Okay, and it's tyrant, right? Yep. Hungry. Yeah, get back to work. Hungry. Yeah, wait. Okay, yeah, whatever. Yeah, okay. Did I do something wrong? No. Oh. Okay. Not a coward, man. Not a coward. I don't. Disloyal. Oh, not disloyal. Oh, I get it now. Get back to work. Nope, that doesn't do it either. Okay. I'm missing something. Yeah, they're disloyal. Unless he's a coward as well. Get back to work. No, that doesn't work either. What am I missing? Unless he's either of Oh, okay. So not hungry. Okay. Got it. Okay. Not hungry. Okay, I think I got it now. I need to make the underling not hungry. Okay. I think this might work now. So I'll get back to work. You thought you told that underling to do their job, not drag strangers into your room. Looks like they took an unauthorized break away from the castle. You You scold them, but ultimately you're a little interested in this guest, so you let them off easy. The underling's not so bad. He's a maiden from a nearby town. Yeah. You've almost fallen asleep when the maiden and hero burst into your room, frantically trying to communicate something to you. You're told that a group of demons is plotting to assassinate you. You're not surprised. How nice it is of the humans to care, though. One of your underlings barges in next, shouting that the humans are liars. They're followed by another group of demons, crying that everything was that first underling's plan. Everyone is shouting over each other now. It's very annoying. You yell for all of them to shut their mouth. You have no doubt that your servants would let their ambition cloud their judgment and lead them to take your throne. Regardless of who led this conspiracy, I have no choice but to punish everyone to keep you all in your place, crushed beneath my heel. Saying that made you feel very overlord-like. You aren't sure if you have the strength to back it up, though. Lately, all you do is sleep. The group of demons start muttering something about going to Plan A and slamming your door shut. You, the maiden, the hero, and one of your underlings are trapped inside. In an instant, the whole room is in flames. The underling pounds on the door, cursing at their friends for betraying them. The hero pounds on the door as well, vowing to slay demons on the other side. So this is how you'll die, burned alive in your own room by those you thought you could trust. You should have expected this from a bunch of idiot demons, though. You notice the maiden crying. Why does she have to die over something that has nothing to do with her? Perhaps she was cursed from the moment she spoke to you. You wonder if you're cursed as well. You're so filled with anger and frustration, you don't even notice that you've grabbed the underling whose traitors blamed everything on you. They cry for mercy, saying they were dragged into the plot knowing they'd be killed if they took your side. When they cry that they didn't want to have killed you, you almost feel sorry for them. Take retribution. You pierce your chest with your claws to scream. The hero backs away. He's wise not to interfere. You stop moving, but you keep digging your claws into them. It doesn't make you feel any better. The underling's corpse burned along with you and the two humans. Spiteful Overlord. Is that the ending? I have an idea. I've been too concerned about the Overlord's paths. But what if I try to... Yep, okay. Doesn't follow through with the plan. Okay. Tyrants. That's it, really. Oh, they're very eager to talk to you about the whole Kill the Overlord plan. You admit you haven't given it much thought and only just now remembered it was a thing. Your fans question your loyalty to their cause. Hold up. Okay. Chicken out. You don't want to kill her. You can't go through with it. You turn to leave the room, but you find your friends blocking the exit, and in panic whisper you ask them to let you out. This seems to have been their way of testing your loyalty. You tell them that this is pretty effed up, and ask again to be let out. The Overlord stirs in her bed while your head is turned. The demons shut the door. You scramble into the Overlord's closet before she wakes up and sees you. There's nothing you could possibly say to explain this and survive. You're trembling. You can't believe those assholes would bully you like this. You feel like crying. Light flickers at your feet. It doesn't take you long to realize they set the room on fire. You hear the Overlord trying to get the door open to no avail. You're both trapped. Too afraid to move. You resign yourself to your fate. You and the Overlord burn together. Cowardly. Okay. Okay. Coward. Okay. Disloyal captor. Okay. Disloyal and captor. Okay. Antisocial. Obedient. Disloyal and captor. Disloyal, captor, obedient, antisocial. Flavor story. When you reach the gates, you ask the demons if they've seen the maiden. They have. They inform you she's being held in the dungeon at the moment. She trusts them, and in return, they lock her up. So demons are truly evil beings after all. You demand that they take you to her, but they do not let you pass. You should have expected as much from these unreasonable creatures. You know what you must do. You thrust your blade through the demon before you and rush the castle alone. You're the only one who can save the maiden now. What the are you doing, killing all my soldiers? The Overlord is angry, and you vow to exterminate her and all of demonkind. You clash again and again, but the Overlord is going down easily. You're both dangerously low on health when everything's goes black. Your quest has come to an abrupt end. Unlucky hero. Oh yeah, I was wondering when that would come in. Overlord. Will it happen now? Oh crap. Tyrant. Oh, right. Hungry. Yes. Hungry. And also. Wow. No, she's not. Okay, no, she's not obedient. He's not hungry. Okay. Okay. After the day off. Oh! No, 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 no. Oh crap. Okay. Yep, I messed this one up. Trusting. Oh no, she is obedient. She is obedient. Okay, my bad. Oh, you wake up to the sounds of battle. A hero is cutting through your army. As the Overlord, it's your job to take charge in these kinds of situations. You rush out to end this hero's pitiful existence. Vile demons! I shouldn't have believed for a second that you were anything but pure evil. I'll exterminate you all. You don't really get what he's going on about, but you engage regardless. A girl's gotta defend her people. You clash again and again. The hero isn't going down easily. You're both dangerously low in health, waiting for the other to make a move when one of your underlings appears behind him. They knock the hero unconscious. You kind of appreciate it, but can't they see this was a duel? They don't respond. You sense murderous intent. Ah, yes. Yes, I see. Right. If all goes to plan, and ask if they'll let you in. Aha! The Overlord allows the two of you to leave, and you casually exit the castle. You pause when you see a group of suspicious demons standing near the entrance. They're talking about assassinating their Overlord. This proves to you that demons are really fell creatures. We have to tell her about this. You don't understand what the maiden is thinking. The world is better off with those demons. They're all cold, ruthless creatures that should be destroyed. And those same creatures have just noticed you eavesdropping. The maiden takes off into the castle, and you have no choice but to follow. You burst into the Overlord's room. The maiden frantically tries to communicate what you just overheard. A demon underling barges in next, calling you liars. It's followed by the group from the entrance, who shifts the blame back onto the little one. These demons only care about themselves? How low can they be? They begin shouting at them, and the whole room dissolves into noise until the Overlord yells for everyone to shut their traps. She threatens them with violence. This Overlord is no better than her subjects. You can be certain if you have to cut through everyone here to get this maiden to safety, you certainly will. The group of demons hiss to each other before shutting the door, leaving the rest of the litter behind. You glance around for another exit, but there isn't one. You have a terrible feeling about this. In an instant, the whole room is in flames. What kind of demonic magic is this? The underling pounds on the door, upset that it's been betrayed. You join it, vowing to slay the cowardly demons on the other side. The next moment, the Overlord has taken hold of the underling. It's crying for mercy. She thrusts her claws in the underling's chest, and it lets out a horrible scream. You back away. You won't be the next target of her rage. She continues to dig and twist her claws into his little body. You can no longer watch. You look at the maiden. She's crying, hands clasped together in a prayer to have faith in a time like this. You envy her. The two of you, the Overlord and the underling's corpses are all consumed by the flames. Okay. What's left is the underling. Okay. Antisocial, be interesting. Okay, so antisocial, obedient, resolute. Trusting. That's what it was. Trusting. You and your friends turn to notice a pair of humans have overheard your entire conversation. They take off into the castle. Are they headed to the Overlord's room? Damn! The Overlord will kill you for sure if she found out you were conspiring to take her out. You dash to the castle after the humans. Sure enough, the maiden's already frantically telling the Overlord everything. You shout that the humans are liars. Your friends soon arrive to back you up, except they don't. Instead, they blame the whole thing on you. They cry that it was all your idea, that they were just going with the flow, too scared to refuse your crazy plan. You can't believe they tell the Overlord such a blatant lie. You always knew better than to trust them. You're the one who didn't have a choice here. You all shouted at each other until the Overlord demands silence. Regardless of who led this conspiracy, I have no choice but to punish everyone to keep you all in your place, crushed beneath my heel. She sounds tough, but lately all she does is sleep. You doubt her strength. You hear your traitor's friends mutter something about going back to Plan A. Suddenly, the door slams shut. You're trapped in here with the Overlord and the two humans. And then the room bursts into flames. You pound on the door, screaming curses at those who betrayed you. The hero joins you, vowing to slay the lot of them. You wish you'd get that chance. The Overlord grabs you by the throat. You cry for mercy. You were forced into this mess. You were sure now that they would kill you if you sided with her. But the Overlord doesn't hear your pleas, and she drives her claws into your chest. At least she made it click. There's only one thing left to do now. I believe. Yep. I need to be the Overlord. The maiden suddenly bursts into your room, accompanied by a hero. She's trying frantically to communicate something to you, but you're still half asleep. They tell you a group of demons is after your life. You still don't grasp the urgency of the situation. One of your underlings barges in next, shouting that the humans are liars. They're followed by another group of demons, crying that everything was that first underling's plan. Everyone is shouting over each other now, and it's very annoying. You yell for all of them to shut their traps. You have no doubt that your servants would let their ambition cloud their judgment and lead them to try to take your throne. Regardless of who led this conspiracy, I have no choice but to punish everyone, to keep you all in your place, crushed beneath my heel. Saying that, you aren't sure if you have the strength to back it up, though. Lately, all you do is sleep. The group of demons start muttering something about going back to plan A, suddenly doors shut, side, one runs in flames, the underling. Oh, I could literally just skip it. Okay. Forgive them. You release the underling. Killing them wouldn't make you feel any better. Besides, they've already gotten their punishment. You all burn together. Overlord's true ending. Before you're taken back to reset the story once again, you pause for a moment. True end, you say to yourself. Was that the point of all my effort if the true ending is this terrible? You must have forgotten where you were. This is bad end theater. Is the pain setting in? Oh, but you should have been well aware of what you'd be shown when you entered this place. It's a problem I've seen quite often. At some point you drew attached to my little cast. You start to relate to their flaws, their plights. You start wishing for their happiness. But you aren't going to find that here in my theater, my lovingly crafted labyrinth of suffering. Anyway, I hope you'll pardon the interruption. You're making great progress. The choice to continue on to the next ending is always yours. I'll leave you to it, my dear. A letter flutters from beyond the curtain. You found lost letter number 4. You must really be enjoying my tragedies. Shut up. My love, do you remember when we first met? I had just finished one of my scripts, one I was quite proud of, in fact. As I read it aloud, you happened to pass by. What a terrible ending, you said. Why should these poor fools have to die? You were so rude. You wouldn't accept any of my justifications. And yet, you managed to convince me. It really would be better if anyone could live in harmony, however unrealistic that felt. I look back fondly on that day, but now I wonder if somewhere you're thinking of it too. Forever yours, Tragedy. Antisocial would be interesting. To your surprise, the Overlord spares you. Or maybe she'd rather just see you suffer instead, looking around. You've just gone from one dead end to another. The maiden is crying, the hero is silent. You'll all burn together. Yep, underling's true ending. No matter the perspective, the true ending remains the same. That's what makes it true. You couldn't resist seeing it for yourself, though, could you? I wonder what will happen when you collect them all. Will you give in to despair, or... A letter flutters down from beyond the curtain. Lost letter number 3. My love, I've been feeling a little depressed lately. Many patrons have come to my theater, but none so far have stayed to experience every tale in its entirety. The critics haven't exactly been kind, but I understand. My stories aren't exactly crowd pleasers. Despite that, you've always listened to the very end. I'm grateful for that. Hope to see you again. Forever yours, Tragedy. Chooses to leave when told. Right, okay, got it. Obey her. The Overlord spares the underling. You feel relieved, but does it make any difference? Will you all burn together? A letter flutters down from beyond the curtain. My love, I finally fulfilled a childhood dream of mine. Yes, that's right. I've opened up my very own theater. You would be so proud if you could only see it. I know how much it would have meant to you to be at my side on opening night. I'm sorry for going ahead without you, but I thought if my theater could become world famous, maybe you just might hear of it. Wherever you are, forever yours, Tragedy. The hero remains. As you stand there not sure what to do, the maiden announces that she's going to prove her story to the village. She drags you along with her. She has much better odds with you around, so you don't object. Adventure awaits! When you make it to the castle, you spy a group of suspicious demons around the... Can't help but overhear their conversation. Yep. Is she gonna kill it as retribution? He continues to cry and make excuses, but the overlord does nothing. To your surprise, she lets it go. Are demons capable of mercy? You guess it doesn't matter now. You all burn together. A letter floods down from Lost Letter. Lost Letter number. My love, it just isn't fair at all, is it? For them to force us apart like this. It's unreasonable, cruel. I had to find an outlet for this grief somehow. So I decided to write, and I'll keep writing until the day you find me once more. And then maybe we could write a story together. I'm waiting for that day. Forever yours, Tragedy. Congratulations, Square Path Ahead to author. Thanks for playing. Did I, though? Did I, though? It can't end like this. You want to answer the maiden's prayers. You've decided to find a way to save everyone. But retracing the path you've seen so far, there doesn't seem to be any room to avoid a bad ending. Is there really nothing you can do to keep them all from getting killed in the end? If there's nothing you can do by acting from within their story, maybe it's time to take things into your own hands. The maiden... Whoa. Wait, what? The hero was burning. Okay. The overlord is burning. Cool. You are... question mark. You boldly insert yourself into the story and use your incredible power to warp everyone to safety. You didn't even know you could do that, but what's going on here? You take a moment to get a good look at yourself. You are you, but why are you pitch black? You feel that this body doesn't accurately represent you, but you move past it. The hero, maiden, underling, and overlord have been staring at you too. They look like they don't really know what they're supposed to do right now. You guess it's because you're usually the one guiding them. What will you say to them? Hi, guys! You smile awkwardly and introduce yourself. The maiden is the first to respond. My prayers have been answered! You must be... her god? No, you're merely the player. If there was any god here, they'd be the final boss. That's just how these role-playing games go. Now you realize what the real true ending must be. Now, enough of this. I admit I've been encouraging you all along, but a self-insert story? How passé. You watch helplessly as tragedy descends from the heavens. You didn't honestly believe you were the only one who could force your way onto the stage, did you? I'm the narrator, storyteller, god of this world. Call me Tragedy if you like. Darkness envelops your party. You don't mind if I send them back to relive one of their many bad endings, right? You are alone in the darkness with me, Tragedy. I sincerely hope you've been enjoying your time in my theater. Though I can't abide you stealing the show without permission, it's quite disrespectful. I'm sick of all these bad endings. Then frankly, you should never have come into a place called Bad End Theater. Haven't we already been over this? You think defeating me might be the only way to see a better ending. It's all that's left for you, isn't it? Well, does sound like it could be entertaining. Show me what you got. Time to fight God. The stage is set for your final battle against me, the god of this world. What will you do? How will you fight against tragedy itself? I'd love to see it. I feel like this is a trick question. Defend. You try closing your heart to protect yourself, but it doesn't feel any better. Oh, is that all? You never defeat me like that. Attack. Tear me down, but you can't seem to do any damage. You don't truly exist in this world after all. Perhaps you don't understand just how outclassed you are here. Behold, my beautifully tragic tales. What the hell is... What? Doesn't seeing them all again make your heart ache? You've witnessed all 41 of my painstakingly crafted endings. You must be as much as a masochist as me. I commend your thoroughness. Surely these characters have a special place in your heart. They're still suffering backstage, you know. It's a shame they couldn't make it here to the end of the world. That's right. You came here to save them. You can't do this alone. Well, that's not fair. Summon. You find the hero in his home, hunched over a sewing table. Your sudden intrusion scares the hell out of the poor guy. Are you some kind of demon? You explain that no, you're not a demon. How do you explain it in a way that the hero can understand? Instead, you ask what he's sewing. Oh, this? I craft all my own gear. You sense his pride in his hobby. You wonder if the costumes are what attracted him to the role of a hero. Would you like some clothes? You don't seem to be wearing any. You remember the state of your body and decide that yes, some clothes from the hero will be nice. He's overjoyed by your answer. Apparently his outfits were too gaudy for the other townfolks, so no one else wants them. The true end for the hero suddenly becomes clear. You offer to change his fate. I can make a living as a tailor rather than a hero. Please tell me what I can do to reach that dream. The hero will now fight alongside you. I agreed to follow you, but I didn't expect to face something like this. The hero has arrived. We really couldn't have a final boss battle without him. You're the one who's been killing us. Murderer. I can't truly call myself a hero until I see you defeated. We'll see about that. Tragedy attacks with a terrible fate. Yow! Okay. You happen to find the maiden as she exits the church, her heart set on meeting a demon. Perfect timing, she approaches you, having already taken notice of your odd form. Excuse me, are you a traveler? I've never seen anyone like you before. You explain that no, you're not a traveler. Well, maybe you are, in the sense that you've come all this way. The maiden regards you with excited curiosity. That perhaps you might be a demon? I was hoping I would meet one today. You think of all the terrible fates that hope would bring about. She's the catalyst of this story, after all. My role as a maiden is to be captured by the Overlord, but you see, I've grown so tired of waiting. You remember this part. She wanted to understand her role better, and so, you ask what it is she's really hoping to gain from this. The maiden is confused by your question. Perhaps it was as simple as wanting to reach the place she felt like she belonged. The true end for this maiden suddenly becomes clear. You offer to change her fate. Is there something I can do to find fulfillment? Then please guide me. The maiden will now fight alongside you. What is this horrible creature? You wound me, dear maiden. Is tragedy really such a terrible thing to behold? I remember now. I remember all the awful things you put us through. Then this should be familiar to you as well. Summon. You approach the gates of the Overlord's castle. The underling is on guard duty as you expected. They call out to you. The other demon guard is sound asleep. Hey, you're a pretty weird-looking intruder. What do you want? You explain that no, you're not an intruder, although you're definitely intruding into their story right now. You tell the underling that you've come to save them from tragedy. Okay, try saving me from boredom first. I hate this job. The underling snickers. You ask what kind of job they'd rather have. It'd be best if I didn't have to work at all. I just want to live a carefree life and never get bossed around or picked on. You think of all the underling's friends who had bullied them into assassination plot only to betray them at the end. If they had kept better company, maybe you wouldn't feel so restless. The true end for this underling suddenly becomes clear. You offer to change their fate. So there's a way that I can work, that even work can be fun? Sounds fake, but I'll take along with you just in case. The underling will not follow. Wait, what the? You didn't say anything about a boss battle. The underling, You must be desperate to call on such an unreliable ally. If I beat this guy up, all my problems will be over. Oh, but it won't be that easy. What is it this time? Oh, yep. Okay. You enter the Overlord's room, relieved to see the fire contained to the torches on the wall. When you close the door behind you, the Overlord rises from her slumber. Who are you? Have you come to reside in my castle and serve me? You explain that no, you're not here to serve her. It's more like you've come to do her a favor. You ask her why she spends all day sleeping instead of commanding her demon army. She laughs in response. Many of my underlings certainly think I could be more aggressive with the humans like my father before me. His quest for revenge was endless and self-perpetrating. There's a reason I had to destroy him. You can't help but think it's a little late in the game to be getting some new backstory. I have no interest in waging war on humans. I merely wish to be left alone, to live a peaceful, indulgent life in my castle. You realize that she must actually be very lonely, only surrounded by soldiers instead of friends. No wonder she gets so attached to the maiden. The true end for the Overlord suddenly becomes clear. You offer to change her fate. My own attempts at peace here have been rather imperfect. If your other solution, then very well. I will follow you. Nice. I see. So this is tragedy. Ah, you've brought the Overlord. I don't stand a chance now. Is that sarcasm? You've prevented me from attaining peace for long enough. Prepare to die. I hope you're prepared to face your death as well. Tragedy. Alright, what is this? Now that the whole party's here, can you solve my final puzzle? Which combination of behaviors will open the path to your true ending? Show me! That just applies to you too, doesn't it now? Steeds? Oh. Your reign of terror ends here, tragedy. I refuse to give in. Here is... Oh. Our true endings do exist. They simply must. Ah, yes. Would you remind her where mischief led you? Well, damn you! Knock me down and I'll just come back stronger. Ambition. I'll reach my true ending with my own power. The Overlord using her vicious nature to overcome tragedy. This is it. With everyone's hearts united, you take aim toward your best possible futures. You all unleash one final attack to destroy tragedy once and for all. Wow. That should mathematically be impossible. Ha! Ha ha ha! You've done it! You've managed to defeat me. A tragic ending for tragedy itself. I love it! I must thank you all for fulfilling your roles perfectly. Thank you, Hero, starring Hero as himself. Thank you, Maiden, starring Maiden as herself. Thank you, Underling, starring Underling as themselves. Thank you, Overlord, starring They're so weird. Enough of this nonsense. We defeated you, so die already. Don't worry. I'll be making my exit shortly. Finally, thank you most of all. We couldn't have made it here without you. Yes, my bad end theater did contain a truly good ending after all. I apologize for antagonizing you for so long. I wanted to deliver a satisfying story. Was I able to do it? I wonder. I'm satisfied. Thank you. I really appreciate that. Happy endings shouldn't always come easily. Reality is not so kind. But you've earned this one. Here's your true ending. Oh, you're still here? The curtain is closed for the final time. I'm shutting down my theater. There are no more tragedies left for me to tell, after all. Me? You'd like to know why I started this theater? Yeah. Because I'm obsessed with bad endings, of course. Remove the mask. You gently raise your fingers to the cracks in my mask. Piece by piece, it falls apart into your hands, revealing the maiden? I should have warned you. This might affect what you think of my stories. You can't help but compare my face to the maiden's. I'm not her, but it's not like she isn't me, necessarily. That's how it is with fiction. Would you like to hear, not another ending, but the truth? Tell me. Alright, one last story. You may already know this, but it doesn't have a happy ending. First, I'll set the stage. In this world, there are no such things as demons, or even heroes, really. There was a girl eager to set out to fulfill some sort of destiny. That part was true. She met someone, another girl. A running theme, isn't it? The maiden and the overlord. The two were inseparable for a time. Everything was just wonderful. But the families, the communities they came from, neither could approve of their relationship. That is the reality for many. This pair was no different. Despite their best efforts, the world was intent on pulling them apart. We used to like the types of stories where love conquers all. Where the strength of your love will pull you through any hardship and everything's okay in the end. I lost her, and then I started this theater. But this story does have a happy ending. Huh? I was hoping to find you. It's you. It's been so long. I thought I'd never see you again. You always think of the worst endings. I wasn't about to give up just because things got difficult. Why didn't you reveal yourself sooner? I feel like such a fool. I could say the same to you. You know I can never resist giving your stories a happy ending. Of course I would be drawn to a place like this. Yes, but I didn't think it would actually work. Sometimes everything does turn out okay in the end. Thank you for reminding me of that. I love you. I love you too. Now truly, everyone can live happily ever after.
To the